In Samuel chapter 2 verse 32, and it says he batata tsar ma'on. I'm sorry, just to remember where we are. Elkanah is telling off Eli, and he's giving him the prophecy about what's going to happen to him and his children. He's already it's all because the children of Eli were not acting appropriately in the Beis Hamikdash or the Mishkan at that point. And so he says in 32, "V'ibata tatzara ma'on," and you will look upon my rival in the dwelling place, b'chol sheyitiv et Yisrael, in all of which Hashem will do good to Israel. V'lo yezakem bebeitcha. I think we did this one, and there will not be an elder bebeitcha in your house, kol yamim, for all that time. And so this David says, "V'ibata tatzara ma'on," where it says, you will look upon a rival. Your children will see his rival in a place, in his home, basically. Because the Kohanim Gadolim would not come from that family anymore. And all that is good. And all the time that Hashem will be good to Israel, the Yod HaMikdash al-Machono, that he will have his Beis HaMikdash in his resting place, Yabit Sar Ma'on, so then he will see the rival in his home. So that really, all he's saying is you're going to lose your place. V'ish lo ya'achrit lecha mi'im mizbechi, yad every man from of yours, I shall not cut off from the Mizbeach Lechalot Dinecha La'adiv et Nafsho, in order to disappoint you and to sadden your heart. V'chol marbit beidcha yamutu anashim, and all those raised in your house will die as young men. Again, and so Judas David explains, he's not going to cut a man off. Mikol v'kol b'li lavod et mehem. So he's not going to cut everybody from serving who was from the Mizbeach. Eli Yisham from Mizbeach, rather going to serve at the Mizbeach. V'yiru baratam, and they're going to experience their what happened to them as a result of their wickedness. Liyod lahem kilyon einayim v'davon nefesh, so they'll be sad. V'im shamar le'eli v'lashanochach v'yechid al zara yidaber. I just give me a grammatical point here. Okay, fine. Call Marbe, call Gedolei Beichan. So now all the elders of your household will die. Men, Anashim lo zekanim, the men will not reach old age. Lokatanim, ki im bechorim sha'avelo tamaruba. But rather, it's going to be the mourning. The mourners will be a lot. And he's now 34. So this will be a sign that this will come, that will befall your two children, et el Chafni et Pinchas. It's gonna, your two sons' names are Chafni and Pinchas. Biyom echad yamutu shneim. And one day both of them will die together. Oh, they'll die. Both of them will die. Again, it says this is the sign. So Mesilas Davar says, that, and you want a sign that all of the words of this nevuah are going to come true. So then, it will start with your two sons. They will die on the same day, and in this you will know that the entire prophecy is going to be fulfilled. So the Malbim explains in this whole thing. Where is it? Right, starting with you will see your rival in the house. Tabit tamid, you will see always v'tira shehamaon shehu Beis Hamikdash, the resting place, which will be the Beit HaMikdash, Yetzar lefanecha mimso bo chayet yedecha. It will be the rye will be for you that will find its place there. At Israel now, and that's what's referring to when everything is good for Israel. And this is also talking about the time that everything is going to go well for Israel. Which was like the days of Shlomo. With all this, you will not profit with them in their goodness. Raktabit tsara matzok, rather you will just see the rivals and you'll in these places. Al kotzer chay banav, and you'll be saddened by the shortness of the lives of the children. And there won't be an elder in all the days. And he's saying literally elders, not people who are not wise in Torah, because normally a zaken is a word for wise in Torah, but in this case he's just saying no, it means elder. And he says now that there are these three curses are in order, and he's going to explain them in particular. One is neged mashkin, that which it says, I will cut off your strength. That explains bal yachshov shelo yeh banav shoftim. That was explained that you should not, your children will not be considered, will not be considered shoftim, beziknei Israel, and elders of Israel. Rak lahem parnasa v'esek acher. Rather, they will have to find another job, another work. No kain ki ish lo yachrit. Wait a second. Oh, I'm sorry. You should not think, I read that wrong. You should not think that just because the children will not be shoftim and will not be ziknei Israel, that they would have to find another job, because they could, by the way, if they could find another job, they could get themselves into another good position. It says, no, it's not going to happen. Rather, I won't cut you off from the Mizbeach. All this time, Yisharu Mishartim Mizbeach, you will always remain as servants to the Mizbeach, which will be lower than everybody else. That's what it means by you will see the rival in the place. So in other words, you will always have to be there. You can't leave. You've been reduced in your status, and that's to make you sad, because you're going to see the greatness in the hand of others, and they will be Bnei Eliezer, and they will be it's not going to be good for you. And on top of that, people are going to die young. They won't die when they're young, because the distress from such a thing is not as much. Rather, they just won't get old. You understand? So in other words, you're not going to die as children. You're not going to die as the elders. You're going to die in the middle. Middle age is when people are going to die, because that increases the tsar so much more. If you lose a child, it's a very sad thing. But it's I don't know how they could say it, because today, God forbid, somebody loses a child. Yeah. I think it's. Oh, I know how they're saying it. Okay, I take that back. If Plony has to lose a child, Plony is going to lose a child. So when would Plony rather lose a child? Would the Plony rather lose Plony for those Altier Joe Smith? If Plony has to lose a child, if he loses the child when he's first born, he hasn't yet got to know him yet. It doesn't impact on his life as much as if he lost a bar mitzvah boy. Okay, and more than that, it doesn't. And if he knew that he had a choice between dying as a bar mitzvah boy versus a 50-year-old who has children, and the father is going to be alive, okay, and the father's not seeing the death. The father's going to see the death. So, which would, if you will, which age would you rather see the child die? When he's a young buck of just born, when he is 12, when he's 10, 12, 13, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, what's going to hurt you the most? The answer is the 50-year-old. Because you've seen him grow. You've seen the children, you've seen everything, and yet you survived him. No, you don't want to see that. It's not normal. God forbid a child dies as a child. Okay, it happens. That's infant. What's it called? Child mortality rate. A lot of people buried their children in the old world. Thank God it doesn't happen anymore for the most part. But it was normal to have to bury the child. But it wasn't normal to bury a 20-year-old. It wasn't normal to bury a 30-year-old. You've seen the child grow. Or again, a bar mitzvah boy. I know a person who, sadly, he lost his child to leukemia. And I think the child was right at bar mitzvah. I'm not sure if he made his bar mitzvah. And it destroyed, well, I shouldn't say destroyed him. I mean, Baruch Hashem, he's not destroyed, but it really took him out for a long time. And, you can't, will he ever recover fully? I don't know. I can't talk for him. I can't imagine how it would be the same, with the same exuberance and the same light in his eyes. But nonetheless, that's what happened. So now, if you fast forward that, now he's 30 and 40. You cut me off, and you cut my son off in the midst of life, and that's the answer. So I think that's how the Malbim is understanding that he's not going to die as a young kid, because that would be painful, but not as painful as an older person. And then he says, "Chol marbet beitcha yamuta on Hashem gedolim." He says, "Greater is the mourning of the elder than because it's such a harsh thing to go through." Fine. Again, it's not something anybody would choose one way or another, but that seems to be what's going on there. And I said that, okay, and then and then he says this is the sign. So the Malbim continues. The Malbim continues. Ata be'ir zaman, so now he's going to explain the timing of when this will take event, when this will start. These three gezerot, these three decrees that were mentioned will start, where it says there won't be an elder in your home, will be Makayim immediately. That's going to be established right now, because that's going to happen when the two children die. And from that point on, when Pinchas and Pinchas die on one day, that will be the beginning of all your children dying before they reach their old age. 35. And I will establish for me, God saying, a trustworthy Kohen, Kashib of Avi, according to my heart, Uvenashim, my soul, Yahweh, he will do. So according to my heart and soul, he will do. Vaniti lo ba'ademan, I will build for him a trustworthy house. How do they say that? A sure house, fine. V'hitalech lifnei Meshichi, and he will walk before my anointed, will walk before me all his days. Now here again, everybody's saying we want Mashiach now. Here, since as a Kohen, he's going to be anointed, so he's called Mashiach, my anointed. So again, when people ask you about Mashiach, are we waiting for Mashiach? The answer is, yeah, we're waiting for Mashiach, but it's not your Mashiach. We've had countless, and I explained this to the kids when I was speaking to them, we've had countless Mashiachim throughout our history. We're waiting for the last guy for the line of David. Yes, it's true. But he's just going to be one of the many who will be after him. Some people say he will die, and we'll have other Mashiachim. So, that we're looking for the Messianic age more than the Mashiach himself. But that's what he's saying. Okay, so, where is it? So this is Kohen Naaman. Who's that going to be? That's Tzadok. That's going to be Tzadok. For who Yasek Hashilpav. He will do what's in my heart. God is saying, like according to the Torah and according to the Mitzvah. Was a Bayit Naaman. That means a Bayit Kavul Lo Zarach Harav. That will be a fixed house for him and to proceed forever after him. By the way, when we say to a Chassan and Kala, you should build a bayis, you should be Zeicha to build to be Boina, a bayis Naaman, Yisrael, to be building a trustworthy house in Israel. What we mean is a fixed house. What? When we say at the wedding, right? Yeah, at several brachas, you always say you should be Zeicha to be Boina or to build a bayis Naaman, Yisrael. Okay, a trustworthy house in Israel. So what does that mean? So according to the Mitzvahs David, those words mean a bayit kavuah lo ulzaro acharav, a house that is fixed for him and for his children after him. So in other words, when we're wishing the Chassan and Kala to have this build it by his Naaman, we're saying that we want you to build it ad oilam and forever. It should come from you. Okay. Build your dynasty. That's what it's saying. Build your dynasty.
He says, which will stand considerably longer.
There you go. Right. Okay, so then it says, he will walk before the king, and there will be peace between the king and between the high priest. So Malbim says, and I will establish. Now he explains that the two first curses will be established, will be fulfilled in the days of David, and then it will be removed. Then Eviata will be removed. That he was from the sons of Itamar, from the Kahuna, and Sadok will enter in his place. That's why it says opposite. I will cut off your power. And I will establish a trustworthy Kohen. Again, that Sadok the Kohen, which would be trustworthy for God. As it says, the Kohanim and the Levium of the Bnei Tzadok that guarded the Mishmeret, or the guarding of from the temple, but or from the Mishkan actually. But told Bnei Israel, when the Bnei Israel were making mistakes from the army, and also that he's going to straighten that out, and also he's going to be with my heart and my soul. He'll do like my heart and my soul. His service will not just be merely because of the outside commandments. Rather, he's going to be because his inner desires, his inner kavanah is going to be godly, and his thoughts are going to be godly. Shekavanah a mitzvot hu laharbo kavod Hashem, because the kavanah, the intent of the mitzvot, is to increase the honor of Hashem, ulhitkadesh b'kedusho, and to make him holy. V'hi nevesh mitzvot. And that is the inner mitzvot and the inner soul. Because the act itself is by the body of physical material. And physical material. And wait a second. And that, okay, fine. Uvanitalo. And that will be why he's saying build it truthfully for Hashem. He will build it by Naaman. Yimshach Melech Yisrael b'mei David. That will be in the times of when David becomes king, and that person, my anointing will walk before me. Okay, so again, he's building up that situation. So he says, Vaya kol, now 36. Vaya kol enoter b'veichan. Now all that remains in your house. Yavol shekavot lo. He will come to bow down to him. Lagorad kasav kikar lachem, for the payment for a silver piece and a morsel of bread. Okay, Amar sefacheni na alachal kohanot lechol padlach. He will say, take me now into one of the priestly divisions in order to eat a morsel of bread. So they're not going to be in good shape. That's the point. Okay, so. What is this? David says the Kohen, they'll have to bow down to the Kohen Gadol that was put in the place from the seed of Sadok, and they're going to basically have to ask for handouts. The Malbim says, that's when that happens, the second curse will happen. She'amar, that he said, about that sarma on that you will see the rival in the house. Shekol anotim beit Eli, that all who remain from the house of Eli, Yavov Yishachavot, they will come and bow down to the Kohen Gadol, and in the time that they want to get their silver piece, and Vivakeshmi told, and that the request that they give him from they let him participate in one of the priestly divisions. Kadeshielo pot lechem lechol, so he should have bread to eat. Okay, so that you understand. That's the curse that he received from Hashem via Elkanah, saying that what you did was wrong. Now, the reason that he gets this curse, we've dealt with this before, is because he didn't rebuke his sons enough. If Eli would have rebuked his children enough and told them, this is not correct what you're doing, you're on the wrong path, then he and his children would not have been punished. The children, Echafni and Pinchas, would have been punished because they didn't listen. But Eli and the rest of his family would not have lost their position. But because Eli considered his children more important than God, if you will, by not responding quicker than he did, and not by noticing that, so he and his entire line will lose out as being Kohen Gadol. There won't be a second chance given, but they won't lose out their position totally. They're not going because that would be in the end Rahmanis. Because if I think about this, if I own a store, if I own a conglomerate, and I'm making it for my children, if my children decide they don't want my conglomerate in the end, so what I'm going to do, I'll sell it out and have a good day. Okay, but if I groom it and it's promised to me, and I've had it from 3 generations now, or whatever the generations I have, and now I'm grooming the kids, and some of the kids are doing wrong, but I'm not really paying attention to them because for whatever reasons I'm not really paying attention, and so people there's a hostile takeover. Right, they're saying you didn't take care of your kids, so we're going to have a hostile takeover, and that's it. And now, but we don't want you to. We're not going to let you leave because you're still there. But you now have to beg for your bread. You know, I had a cousin. We used to call him Uncle Bob. I don't know why we called him Uncle, but okay, he was really a cousin, and he owned a publishing house. He owned a publishing house. Well, foolishly enough, he put into the bylaws that when you hit 65, you have to retire. Not thinking, of course, that it would apply to him. As the story goes, I don't know if it's even true. But when he hit 65, the board of directors said to him, Uncle Bob, here's your gold watch, or whatever they gave him, and you are retired. And they said, but it's my company. He said, yeah, but the rules are the rules. Okay, so, and they didn't want to keep him, apparently, so he had to start something else. But that's the sort of thing where here you work so hard for it. Now, if I have to go away, what do? I start another business like he did. But can you imagine if they said to him, you no longer can run the organization, but now we need you, so you'll be in the mail room. The mailroom? What do you mean the mailroom? I know. And you'd be paid like you're in the mailroom. What? You crazy? Okay, but that's what it was. That's what they got. Because they didn't take care of their position, Hashem didn't say you're free from the position, that you still have to keep. You're not going to be a Kohen Gadol, you'll still be a Kohen, but now you're going to have to beg to be put onto the roster. Okay, fine. Chapter 3. We have time? No, we don't. Okay, we'll have to stop here. We're starting at chapter 3. Okay, very good.